All right, what is up, you guys? Uh, hold on. All right, so me and Brandon are here. Brandon, what are you having for lunch, buddy?
I am having a couple of chili cheese burritos from Taco Bell.
Nice. That
Yeah, it's
sounds
their
pretty.
new Y2K Decades menu.
Oh yeah, good deal. Good deal. How's the uh, how's the weather in Texas, man?
Uh, a little warm, but I think next week we're going to finally start cooling off. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's been up and down here. Like everybody's like, oh, it cooled down. It's still hot, dude.
Yeah,
Still like
yeah.
feels like. I mean, it's cooled off a little, but it still feels like it's freaking 95 out.
Yeah, it's the humidity and stuff.
So I was looking at emails, and everybody's wanting me to get back into the whole discussions and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. And on today's discussion, it's talking about, um, looking out for yourself. Basically, no one has to be treated disrespectfully. No one has to put up with being pushed around. No one has to put up with, the way that that it can be in this world today. And a lot of people, they just allow it. They allow it, but then they wonder why. Why is it that why am I angry? Why am I always stressed? Or why am I always dealing with this? Because I'm not saying that you can control that someone respects you, but you control what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with.
Yeah, and I see that a lot, unfortunately, in our own little community where people just put up with stuff. And it's like, you guys don't have to do that. Just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can just let people walk all over you and treat you like you don't have any dignity.
Yeah, and and the other thing I noticed, and I noticed with our community, I noticed with our community a lot,
Oh, yeah.
is the fact that someone will let's just say that because the blind community alone is it's divided. It's not united.
Unfortunately, it is.
It's not united. It's not together. It's divided, right?
Yep.
So it the one thing that I notice is people will. Oh, I brought up my window because I got the air on. People will act a certain way or respond a certain way depending on how those in their
Let's just be
group
honest, in their little clique.
act. Yeah, so if me and you was in this group of people that was arrogant or disrespectful, we all act the same. We all
Hmm.
act the same because we follow each other's shadow. We follow each other. You know. Now, granted, let me just make very clear that I'm not saying that that's what me and Brandon do,
No.
because we do not. The only way that you get respect in this world today is when you show that you're not going to be disrespected. And sometimes you got to walk away. Sometimes you got to walk away from groups of people that that you try to put yourself around and get along with. But if if they're trying to change you, if they're trying to disrespect you or insult you, it's up to you to do something about it and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you how I feel, and then I'm going to leave it up to you. And when you decide that you can be better with me, then maybe then I will put myself back around you.
Well, let's just be honest. I mean, we got to step up and lead. You got to be a leader. Like,
I've always said that in this world today, you've got leaders and you got followers, and you got to
yeah,
decide which one are you going to be. And if you're going, and listen, it's okay to follow, but it's how you follow. If you're following someone because you're learning, because for example, if you got someone that's a mentor, well, then obviously they're the leader, you're the follower, right? So it's okay to follow if you're learning the right things. But to me, you don't got to be a leader to lead a group. You got to be a leader to yourself and say, I'm in charge. I'm going to, you know, do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to, you, so many times that you hear that leader, people think this got to do with, well, Brandon, I'm a leader. So you need to follow me because I'm taking leadership here.
it was not always like that.
And that's not the way that leadership among yourself. And a lot of people are not leaders among
Mm-mm.
themselves. We got 12 people watching right now. You guys give us a thumbs up, tap that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at the lounge. um, I'm sitting in the car right now, you guys. My girl's inside the store getting a few things, and I am sitting in my car. So I got the air on because it's hot. It is so hot.
Join the club.
But you know, I'll give you another good example, and I'm going to talk about two different things. I'm going to talk about the sighted community versus the disabled. Okay, let's be realistic here. The disabled are treated differently because people see them as being in a different group, right?
Yep.
And we, like in the blind community, for example, there's people out there that treat other blind people like they're, just like we see in the sighted community. They'll treat others like they're not smart enough, or they're not good enough, or they don't have enough money, they don't wear the right clothes, they don't do the right, their schedule doesn't follow what they do. And it's like, come on.
I think a lot of that, unfortunately, has to do, and I'm sorry to say, well, no, I'm not sorry. I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of that in America has to do with our organized blind movement of individuals, organizations. They have a lot to do with this aspect of, hey, I have a job. Why don't you? You're no, but you're worse off than I am because I have a job. Look at me, and I see
And I
that a lot.
also, and one of the other big issues that I see is today we don't know how to communicate between two different groups when speaking how we feel about something. So
Right.
let me give you a good example. Let's say let's say, okay, I'm just going to throw an example. Let's say abortion, for example. There's a side of people that don't support it, and there's a side that does. Okay, but instead of being able to talk about it, and people trying to reason and trying to understand, hey, Brandon, why are you for? Not saying you are. I'm making an example. Hey, Brandon, tell me why are you for abortion? Tell me what your points are, why you feel that way. And then you would tell me, and then I would come back and tell you, well, this is why that I'm against it. And we don't do that. We don't communicate.
Mm-mm.
We really don't. We are, you know, the United States. We should be, just as it says, United we stand, right? But we're not united. We're not one. We're not one because people, instead of communicating, they want to get angry. They want to get hostile. They want to uh, basically scream into the air
Yep.
without any result of trying to understand why one feels one way and another feels another. And you know, and then I'm gonna get back on main course here, but here's my point with that. And I don't know, the what's that guy's name that got shot? Charlie.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Now I'm not saying that I'm a believer in everything he does, but his point overall was trying to create better communication instead of the division. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm sitting here saying I agree with every little thing he said or said. But yeah, said. Unfortunately, it's past tense, and that sucks. But you see where I'm going here? Like we need to learn to communicate. We really do, but we don't do that. So back to my main point, what we were talking about with the blind community. Look at what I went through with the whole beta thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Instead of communication, there was no communication. It was just, you're done. I don't want to hear. There's nothing
Yeah.
to
It
talk
was an
about.
arbitrary decision based on, honestly, I think it was personal feelings towards you, which I don't have proof of that, but I honestly think it is, which sucks.
Well, and
It
let's be
shouldn't be that
realistic
way.
here. How many how many times, Brandon, can you remember that even yourself has been judged in the blind community when it comes to the simming community? How many
Oh my God.
times have you been judged and thrown under the bus?
Countless,
All
countless
because
times.
it goes back to what? It goes back to people don't want to communicate if you're not on the same level as they are, as them.
Well,
And
and the
that's
fact is, they don't like when you step out of line and don't agree with them, and frankly, just step up. You know, that's when all the judgment starts.
hey, Justice 3, I want to change the topic. What blind? So
I'm not even seeing that chat.
I was just looking at mentally, yeah, see some people's gotta act.
There we go. Uh
All
oh.
right, let me get rid of this guy. Hold on.
Is he? Or do we got another troll going on?
All right, I got rid of. People are so talk. Are you Mano? Are you guys there? I took care of it. Andy, how you doing, buddy? I'd get rid of the trolls. That's just the way it is. And again, there's my point right there. Judgment. People they don't even know you, and all of a sudden they want to make rude comments
Yeah.
or you know insults. And why? Why? Because number one, they got nothing better to do, and number two, they know nothing about self-respect.
Yep.
If they did, they wouldn't be on here talking like that, right?
Exactly.
That's the way I see it. Idiots. But I'm gonna get rid of this person too. All right, Arson, how you doing, buddy? All right, I can't wait to get me some earbuds where I can flick through chat and it not be distorted in the mic on the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a pair of wired earbuds myself.
But
Honestly,
people are so disrespectful, and especially when you're doing, when you're doing live streams and stuff, you can't go by what some of these haters, what they say. You got to just block them and
I
move
just don't
on.
even let it bother me.
Yeah, it's sad because that probably describes their lifestyle, which is probably pretty pathetic. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is.
I mean, don't get me. If there's a topic I don't want to listen to, like if it's about political stuff and I don't want to listen to it right at that point, I'm not going to troll somebody and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I don't want to hear this." I'll just
Well, it's
tune out
funny
and go
because
do
then
something else.
the one message they said was, "You're not a good public speaker." Was clearly they don't know me and they don't know how much I've actually done. No, I'm not some big time popular person, but I promise you, I've got my audience. Just because it's not right here in the lounge right now, that don't mean nothing. I promise. And Brandon can vouch for that. I promise you. I've got my people
Well, we got 10
that know
watching,
who I
so
am. So, but again, you just got to ignore those that want to hate and say, you know, mean stuff. I apologize for chat when you're hearing me flick through my phone because I know it sounds like you're the voiceover talking, but anyway, the point of this stream is that I'm just trying to encourage people to stand up for yourself. Don't let people throw you under the bus. Don't let people drag you down because you know what? You're better than that. You're better than that. And those that do that, it just truly shows their mentality.
yep,
But if you want a better lifestyle, a better future for yourself, you've got to take leadership over yourself and show people that you're not going to put up with it. That you know
yep,
what, I am better than that, and I'm not going to let your negative ways affect me. That's the moral of it, honestly.
exactly.
So I'm trying to see something real quick. Hold on, and I could do this too. Let me. Oh, there we go. That's how you do that when you don't want to hear. Uh, when you don't want to hear people saying stupid stuff, just turn off the chat.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So anyway, um, Brandon, I wanted to bring you on, get your opinion about it. Guys, we will be flying later, so make sure you join us and join us on their fun flight. We didn't land until 7 o'clock this morning.
Good lord.
We flew to I forget the name of the place. It's EGPH.
Oh,
Already went there
Edinburgh.
once. Yeah, Edinburgh. Yep. We landed there this morning. It was a good flight, good landing. I will say that doing it the way that I did it last night on the first flight and then the second one, by not putting in your star or transition, that is really a good way to do that
Yeah, I
because
was gonna ask about that.
once you get ready to do your descent, just verify the runway, and if it's good, leave it at that runway, and if it's not, go in and set it up.
Yeah.
So pretty simple. But
Honestly, and that takes a little bit off your pre-flight stuff too, so you don't have to worry about, oh, did I do this?
yeah, it does. So anyway, Brandon, I'll get with you whenever we get back to the house.
Okay.
Guys, treat yourself better. Show people that either look, I'm respected, or I don't go around you. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's it. It sounds a lot more complicated than what it really is. Honestly, you can't make nobody treat you a certain way, but you can control whether you're around them or not, and that's the moral of the story. Honestly,
Yep.
so. All right, Brandon, we'll let you go, my friend. Thanks for
Alrighty.
joining me.
No problem.
Guys, we appreciate you. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk to you again here real soon. We'll see you guys.